Life is a journey. The journey of life is a journey of mercy. That's why when you are traveling, they will say journey mercies. Mercy is the only one that can help a man not to be a victim of life circumstances when it comes to relationship. My name is Olufunke Adetuberu. This is Straight Talk with Olufunke on Blast FM 98.3. On behalf of Dr. Yinka Efele, is still the father of Fresh FM, Blast FM, Tiwa Radio. I welcome you to Straight Talk with Olufunke. Today is going to be powerful. I started an episode last week answering questions. If you miss any of those episodes, follow me on Instagram, Funke Adetuberu. You will listen to it there. Or my YouTube channel, Funke Adetuberu. What I did last week, I've had a lot of people messaging, texting, and saying, what is this? Is this a dream or something else? Are people like this living on Earth? Can somebody lay these rules for a woman she's not yet married to? Will someone put himself or herself in that place where you are going to be in bondage for the rest of your life? Marriage is coming together of two destinies to complement, to assist you, to help you to become the better and the best version of yourself. Not be married at all. And you found yourself in courtship, a man treating you as if you are not a human being, puts you in a cage called relationship. Some of you are wondering, what is she saying? I said it, I'm not taking calls. I need to flog, shred, break down this question that this person asked me on Straight Talk with Olufunke. Let me digress here. If you are a man and you are listening to me, the Men College of Ministry is resuming by the grace of God Almighty on the 21st of October 2023. Register now. Distance is not a barrier. Anywhere you are in the world, you can be part of this destiny molding training for men. A man is a pilot. A man is the driver. A man is the captain of any man's life. You are the head as a man. Head is where there is eyes. Head is where there is mouth. Head is where there are ears, nose, brain. Cut the head. Life is gone. Your head determines your headship. Your head determines what you are going to become in life. As the head on its own, as a man, not to talk of a woman having a head. That's another topic for today, if possible. You can't afford to miss the training for men. We've done Men College of Ministry before, and the men were testifying to the knowledge they gained. They understood fatherhood. They understood parenting. They understood what does a woman really want. Powerful, powerful teaching with a comprehensive handout. If you are interested in joining me on the 21st of October, as I resume the Men College of Ministry, the number to text, the number to WhatsApp is 090 2010 1080. 090 2010 1080. You are going to be given the proper information on how to register for the School of Ministry for Men. Men training school. Nobody trains our guys. I've had stories recently. One person at the Big Brother Naija said he's going to make his boys, give them money, give them cars to be sleeping with somebody else's daughter. If a brain, the head can say that, what do you expect from the children of such a man? He's consciously or unconsciously passing the baton to his children. Child, don't miss the Men College of Ministry for anything. Write it, save the date in your diary. We are resuming on the 21st of October 2023. I started answering a question last week. I will continue today. There's nothing wrong in going back to listen to that of last week, because if I go back on it, that's another 1 hour. And I don't know how many weeks this question will take for me to answer them. So I need to be intentional. So if you missed the episode of Straight Talk with Olufunke, that of last week, get to the internet, go to my YouTube channel. The name is Funke Adetuberu, or follow me on Instagram. The handle is Funke Adetuberu, and listen to last week's episode of Straight Talk with Olufunke on Blast FM 98.3. Good afternoon, ma. God bless you for always helping us, saying things that we can't say. About your last post, I'm engaged to a young minister. He's a papa of our fellowship. Everyone respects him so much, and by extension, they now respect me too, for ever since we made our public announcement. It's been a little over a year now, and we're already looking at January next year for our marriage. His rules are too many. I must not practice as nurse after we marry. Rule 1. I just finished nursing school this year. My parents invested so much in my education. He said on our wedding night, if he did not see blood, he will curse me. Rule 2, or judgment 2, or guillotine 2. Ma, I'm a virgin. I've never had a boyfriend, talk less of sex. He's my first. He said I must call him Lord, both at home and in the public. Law, rule, guillotine, number 3. I'm going to break it down. He said I must raise our children well, because he doesn't want children like Eli. Is it the duty of a woman alone to raise children? Rule, judgment, number 5. Too many that I can't even say. I am very afraid of him. Imagine. But I pretended all is well. I love him because he treats me well, except all the things I said earlier and some other ones. Though there are some other ones. He has helped me to study the Bible more, but I'm very afraid. I'll break it down. Any small offense like this, I will beg him for weeks, and he won't accept until he gives me 3 days fasting to seek the face of his Lord for forgiveness. Please, ma, what should I do? Leaving him is not an option because he said we are ordained to marry from above. And if I leave him, I will not marry my exact bone of my bone. Please, ma, what should I do? Let me start breaking it down. Definitely, I can't finish it today. With that, I'm not going to take calls. I'm not going to allow people to call in. I have a lot of anonymous questions that I have to answer. So this one in particular is heavy, loaded, intriguing, questioning. If it is not addressed, I know I'm putting generations unborn into trouble. I'm making them to sit on a time bomb that will explode shortly. I'm causing them what I call trouble, tears, ever consistent pain, which I will hate myself even after my death, having to be quiet over a question that is as complex and complicated like this. And that's why I want everybody to sit down, get a pen and a paper. You are free to ask me questions after now. The number to text, I'm going to tell you at the end of the program. But this question, last week, I answered that question, this particular question, for 1 hour, and I did not exhaust it. And I've not even gotten there at all. I just made you to realize that there are people that have mental illness, personality disorder. We have sociopaths, we have psychopaths, we have narcissists, we have people with borderline personality disorders. We have addicts. We have people that they are mentally ill, but nobody is diagnosing them because church, religion, culture, tradition is oblivious to personality disorders. Listen to me. Somebody asked me a question in one of the straight talks. He said he wants me to put it in the law, to pass it to the House of Assembly, that people that are going to be getting married should do marriage counseling like we do HIV tests, genotype tests, that they should add premarital counseling to it. But I said something. I said, which I'm thinking and I'm saying, that we should also pass a bill that we are going to add personality assessment tests and compatibility assessment tests. I'm saying this because of this question that this lady asked me. If tummy had to have a zip, I wish God would have put a zip in our tummies. Before I greet you, before I talk to you, before I relate with you, that I should open that zip and check if there is serpent, cobra, hyena, lion in your tummy. Unfortunately, there is nothing like that. In my language, they said, if our heart is like a calabash, I would have opened it before I relate with you. The only way we can know that this person has a personality disorder is to do it scientifically. If you are hearing me, this is a digression. You are in a relationship. You have been having this unrest, pain, questions. So many things are puzzling you about the man or the woman you want to marry. Quickly do personality assessment test or compatibility assessment test. The reason why this is important is, don't say, thus saith the Lord. God has spoken. I received from God. I saw God flying down on the wings. I saw angels. That's why I know that this person is my wife or my husband. You are deceiving yourself. Oh. Even if angels come to you and say, marry him, marry her, you will still go through 7 stages. 14 invincible people are going into relationship. In courtship, you know few. In marriage, you know the rest. Everybody is James Bond, Eddie Murphy, Jackie Chan, and Baba Suwe, Femi Adebayo, Wòlíì Àgbà, actors ni mò ń dárúkọ yẹn. In courtship, nobody is real in courtship. You will see some things when you are married. You will almost collapse and say, hey, it's like maybe the person you are getting married to or you got married to does not have hair. It's just wig 24/7. or does not have teeth, he has put denture, artificial tooth or teeth, and the night of the wedding or the day of the wedding, at least you can't put wig and sleep. He now opened his hair. You now see that he's bald headed. He wants to bath. He went to brush and he smiles. There's no teeth in front. That is physical things though. I'm just making that statement for people to think. What about personality issue? Anger, addiction to drug, to sex, to pornography? What about stealing? What about cheating? What about lies? What about malice? What about hatred? What about unforgiveness? What about bitterness? What about ability not to let go on time? He will forgive, but he will talk and talk and talk. God will beg him. Angels will beg him. You will beg him. And he's still going to be adamant. What about those ones? That is why I'm telling you now, and take it to the bank. The moment you are noticing, observing some attitude, some things in your relationship that is not giving you rest, don't say, don't worry, I will change him. He will change. She will change. I will change him. You are reading novels, Mills and Booms, fairy tale stories. You are in a world of fantasy. You are not awake. You are sleeping and you are snoring. You don't know anything. The moment you notice anything that is giving you pain, mental, emotional, psychological pain, because this person now that I'm reading her text, the lady that is asking this question, there's no physical abuse, but this is an emotional abuse raised to power 1,000,000 in that relationship. And nobody knows. X-ray does not see emotional wounds. This is a serious matter. Get yourself together. Do personality assessment tests or compatibility assessment tests. At least know if two of you are compatible. And these are done scientifically. Let me put it raw. It's done scientifically. Scientifically speaking, they would analyze the two of you, break his personality down, and know that if this one is a marriage material, know that this one, hey, or know that the two of you can live together in agreement for the rest of your lives. If you don't do that and you enter one chance, like this my sister, she's about to enter one chance. She's a candidate for one chance. Hear me clearly now. Be careful. As a woman, you can do heart transplant. You can't do head transplant. You can't do head transplant. Do you know that the father of your child, your husband, is the father of your child? Your wife is the mother of your child. Your husband is the grandfather of your children, great grandfather of your children, vice versa. That tells you something. You cannot afford to choose a man wrongly. Every good in you disappears if you marry wrongly. You marry a wrong man, you marry a wrong woman, every good that is inside of you disappears to the thin air because of the kind of a person you are married to. Let me take these questions. I'll start breaking it down. I'm engaged to a young minister. Young minister. Thank God you said he's young. It means there is no experience, no understanding or the knowledge of life. He has not seen life. He has not seen battle. He has not seen anything. So he's a young minister. When you say somebody is a young person, it means that he has no information. I have young children. He's a child. A child cannot be married. A child cannot be settled. A child cannot even be pregnant or be married or give birth to a child. So let us say that this person is a child. And as a child, what are the nature of children? Stubborn, unruly, disorganized, no structure. Just think of what a child would do, or a young child would do. The way of a youth is slippery. The way of a youth is compromised, peer pressure. I want to do what others are doing. I want to join the Jones and the Joneses. That's the nature of a child. A child wants to belong. He wants to be in a clique. He gets his validation, being honored, being worshipped. That's the nature of a child. So, or a young person. Solomon said a lot of things about youths, about young people. The way of a youth is so delicate, so slippery, that they can easily be swindled or be swayed away from purpose and destiny. So, for the fact that he's young is a sign that he's very childish. And if you're a baby, you marry a baby, you give birth to a baby, then babies turns out to babies and baby gave birth to babies. So when two of you are crying, husband is crying bass, the wife is crying also, the baby is bringing trouble, who is going to comfort each other? Number one is a young minister. I'm breaking it down. The second part is he's the papa of the fellowship. Can we stop this nonsense in the body of Christ? Transferring leadership to toddlers and making them to take a spiritual role that is going to destroy them because of pride. Papa in the fellowship. I don't know who started it, because when we gave our lives to Christ, we were brothers and sisters. There was nothing like papa or mama on campuses, in fellowships. We are siblings. The Bible calls us brethren. This doctrine that came and make people to now be fathers in the Lord, mothers in the Lord, that are babies in the university fellowship, even the ones that are outside, that they call papa and mama, they have issues allowing the title to get into their skulls. Not to talk of somebody that still needs to be breastfed. I hope my English is correct. But I'm saying some things that are serious here. Still need to be nurtured at the breast of a mother, at the bosom of a father. The person has now taken spiritual position, responsibility that had gotten to his head. He is now seeing himself as a small lord, because everybody hero worships him, honor him, worship him, bow before him. Excuse me, the real papa, the real mama in ministry that are doing exploits for God, they are humble. If you are not humble, you will stumble. They take the responsibility given to them by the Almighty God as a privilege that is supposed to be taken with sobriety, humility, with all sense of humility and awe, saying, God, you counted me worthy to stand on the podium and disseminate information to my generation with reverential fear. That is the kind of position that we find ourselves in life and in ministry. But because a child does not know how to handle responsibility, privilege, position, it naturally gets into their head. I've talked about personality disorder last week. I'm now breaking down the intention, the motive. What makes this young man, young minister, to think he deserves the position? Can I be honest with you? There is nothing that you have that is not given from above. That's number one. Number two, there is no position you find yourself that you should let it get to your head. Pride goes before a fall. If you are not humble, you will stumble. God resists the proud and he gives grace to the humble. God looks at a proud man from afar. There's a religion I respect, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility. This religion, everybody sits on the floor when they go to pray. Everybody. No matter how rich, no matter how wealthy, no matter how positioned you are in your life, when they are going to worship God, everybody sits on the floor. That religion has made everybody to know that serving a sovereign God, worshiping a sovereign God is a height of sobriety, humility, and being down to earth. There is nobody that would be privileged if that person is not a baby like this person, serving Almighty, the Almighty God, and you will be so comfortable in your pride that is now making you to be a lord. You know, kò funny rara, it's not funny. I'm just shocked by this person's attitude and actions. Really, ask Nebuchadnezzar when he felt important on the throne. God made him to become an animal. He went to the University of Bestiology, Faculty of Common Sense. His head was correct. Pride kills faster than poison. If somebody is poisoned, God can still make that person to be alive. But when you are proud, you are gone. This person, this papa, this papa in quotes, has allowed the honor they are giving to him to get to his head. Can I say this to all of us who are privileged to be in ministry, doing one thing or the other for God? As they are worshiping you, can you be worshiping God? Can you just give the bouquet, the flower of the worship they are giving to you back to the owner? Because it's not your business. You are privileged to be who you are, whose you are, and what people are ascribing to you as a person. Sincerely speaking, I have never felt qualified in my walk with God. Never felt qualified. Not to talk of feeling like mama, one big papa, arrogant, cocky, porky, is a sign of immaturity, childishness, to let the act of honor that people give to you as a man of God, as a woman of God, to now make you a god to the people you are privileged in serving. And we are servants. As a matter of fact, when Jesus was teaching leadership, naturally he brought basin and he started washing the feet of the apostles, his people, the people he serves, washing their feet. One say, master, hey, I'm too small, oh. Me, you are washing my feet. Jesus said, if you are not going to allow me to do this, you are not part of me. He's telling us that we are servant leaders. We serve, we serve, we serve, we serve, we serve. Bro, papa, in quotes, we serve. If you are privileged to be in any leadership position, see it as service unto God and service to humanity. Wash their feet, wash their legs. Look at me, lady. It has been a year now, and we are already looking at January next year for our marriage. Please, stop that marriage. Don't go there. If you go there, just know that the only dog that will not listen to the whistle of an hunter is the one that is going to be lost. The black flags, the red flags, the signs are too bad, too many, too dangerous for somebody to say, I want to go into a relationship with this person that is making himself a small God in my life, a small God. Listen to me. Anytime you look at your life and you lose your peace, just know that God is saying something. Peace is an acid test for the will of God. What did I just say? Peace is a test, is an acid test for the will of God. The moment you don't have peace, you know that something is wrong. Please check your heart, check your mind, check your conscious and subconscious mind. Sit, stretch yourself, sit back and check for peace. If peace is not there, God is not there. Let me say it again. If peace is not there, God is not there. If peace is not there, God is not there. He has so many rules. The rules are too many. One of the rules is you must not practice as a nurse after we marry. Who does that? Who acts that? Who says that? Who says, see manipulation of a narcissist? See manipulation of a baby leader? See manipulation of a toddler? How can you open your mouth and tell a woman that has lost her identity in marriage to start with, if you marry as a doctor and you're a woman, your identity is lost already. The MRS has taken over your identity and your husband's name. She now went to school by, you don't know the kind of money the parents use in sending children to school. In these days, cooperative money, hard-earned money. You now choose to say yes to a man who is going to truncate your dream, your vision, your inspiration and aspiration. As far as any relationship is concerned, listen, what does a relationship do to you? It adds to you. It makes you a better person. When you are going into a relationship and the person you are supposedly relating with has become a cog in the wheel of your progress, put you down, tell you you can't practice your profession after you marry. And you know what you are telling me here? It's been a little over a year now, and we're already looking at January next year for our marriage. Listen to me, there's no marriage here. If you think I'm an extremist, life is a choice. You make your choice makes you. When you take a patient to the doctor, I've done this for 40 years of my life. Next year, July, it will be 40 years of active service in this dimension of ministry and reaching out to people. If I tell you that something will not work, take it to the bank. It won't work. If you take a patient to the doctor that has a particular sickness, by the reason of that doctor's profession, he can give you the prognosis. I say, okay, if I do this, if I do that, the patient will be fine. This is stage 4 cancer. The prognosis is death. Apart from a doctor understanding the diagnosis, they can tell you the prognosis of what will happen. And that is exactly what I am saying here. There is no marriage here. I've often said this. If I use my mouth to cut meat for you, don't eat it. Sincerely, my mouth may be smelling. But if I say something with my mouth, especially in the area of relationship, just know that if you are not eating that meat because my mouth is smelling, you will beg for me to cut meat for you with my mouth. I would have gone. Because wisdom will always cry. When wisdom cries, child, and you tell wisdom to shut up, he said when your calamity comes, you will be crying. Wisdom has gone. That is how wisdom cries. Forget that date. Forget marrying this man. There are so many lies he told. I'm still going to be breaking it down. I can't finish it today. I've said it. So many lies he has told you. Which bone of bone? Which flesh of flesh? After Adam, God is no more choosing for people. He leads them to choose. You can be led to choose and you can lead yourself to choose. Please don't put God into this and stop insulting God. Bone of bone, flesh of flesh. Who says? I don't know the kind of Bible people are reading. This generation is painful and it saddens my heart. I've said it before. Let me say it again. Get people to do counseling after giving their lives to Christ in the light of baggages. Let the person that leads people to Christ ask them, wetin you carry? What have you been doing? What was your past? What happened before you met Christ? When you are born again, your spirit is born again. Your soul and your body is not born again. I've said it. I've been talking like a broken record. I'm saying it again. Go back to that last week episode. The same question I answered. I said a lot of things about what happens to you when you say you have given your life to Christ. It is not rocket science. Jesus said it. In Matthew 12:43-45, go and read it. It will tell you clearly what happens to you at Calvary. I'm talking to people that have spiritualized, put everything under spiritualize things. Don't let people use God to manipulate you and take your peace, your joy, your sanity, your future, the future of your children, your wealth, your health, your happiness. Don't let anybody use the name of God to dupe you or to scam you. Don't let anybody use the name of God to dupe you or to scam you. You will live the rest of your life wishing, I wish I had listened to wisdom. Those rules are from the mind of an insecure leader, minister, papa, low self-esteem leader, a leader that is not secured. The moment somebody is telling me or telling you, you know I'm your husband, you know I'm your husband, you know I'm your pastor. Excuse me. Nobody flaunts, shouts, scream, yell position. You don't demand honor, you command it. Call me mommy, call me mama. Sorry, you don't demand honor, you command it. There is a lifestyle you live that makes you the person that people will call you without asking for it. Anytime you find yourself in a relationship and the rules are even more than the 10 commandments, just know that you have entered one chance. You too, your eyes is open. You said something. Ma, I just finished nursing school this year. My parents invested so much in my education. The question is, do you want to invest in your child's life? And your child will now bring a man that is not secured, heavily lacking, I'm choosing my English today, self-esteem and worth and value, coming to tell you, you can't be a nurse. You cannot practice your profession. This one that I'm going to continue next week is going to be more delicate. What the man said, I've read it though, but when I break it down, hey, listen to me very well. This man is an accident that is about to happen. The eye that will follow you to the grave should not be bringing water in the morning. That is what the proverb said in my language. Ojú tó bá máa bá èèyàn kalẹ̀ kì í tàárọ̀ ṣepin. Eléyìí ò ṣepin lásán o. Eléyìí ti fọ́, ó ti ń wò bàìbàì. That's the kind of picture of your future that this guy is painting to you. My sister, if I have to give you £1 billion, I will tell you from life experiences, people's experiences, what I teach about relationship is a gospel I have touched, I have felt, and I've handled. And my prayer for everyone hearing me today is that you will not enter one chance. in the name of God, in the name of spirituality, in the name of thus saith the Lord, you will not truncate your beautiful future. God is not a manipulator. God is not a witch or a wizard that will force you when it is clear that the obvious is evil, the obvious is negative. God is not wicked. Take your time. Get yourself to a place where you can think more than what I've said. Honestly, listen to this episode over and over and over and over again so that you will not put your fingers in your mouth and bite it badly because you want to marry in January. Don't marry a man that will break your heart. Don't marry a man or a woman that will truncate your vision and your dreams. Let's insist that this guy should see me and do counseling and therapy. He will never follow you to counseling. I can bet it with you. He will never. And if he's going to follow you, he will follow you to someone that does not have insight, understanding of what is going on. And he will manipulate that person. But for me, I've dealt with hundreds of them. I have them in my in my archives of knowledge, experience. So I cannot be bamboozled. The word is enough for the wise. I'm still coming back to break more down. Because this is a serious question. Very naughty. KNOTTY. Don't forget, 21st of October, the Men College of Ministry we are resuming. Send a text to show your interest. It's for your good. To 090 2010 1080. As a man, you are packing people in your vehicle of destiny. You can't drive them to Lagoon. You have to drive them to a safe place, a place of peace, a place of rest, and a place where you can make them to be happy that they have you as a father. A father is a pilot, is a driver, is a captain of the boat. God did not ask Eve, where are you? He said, Adam, where are you? If you take the knowledge I'm going to be giving you at the Men's School of Ministry to heart, you'll be glad you did. Your generation will bless me. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that has been on this program since the beginning till now. I sincerely appreciate you. You want counseling, you want therapy, you want help in any way. The number to text is 080 232 42389. I don't pick calls because I have a lot on my table. But as much as it lies in my ability and my capability, I will definitely reply. Your text message, your voice note, your WhatsApp. Thank you so much for listening. On behalf of Dr. Nkajo Laifele, the father of Blast FM, I appreciate you for listening. I'll see you next week. Thank you.